So the REACH project was the first collective impact project to come to Northern Ireland. So our aim was to work with 10 schools, 5 in the primary school sector, 5 in the post-primary school sector, to bring them together to combat the underlying and holistic causes of school exclusion.
I suppose I got in contact with Right to Succeed because I felt that there were things that they could really help us with around behaviour, attendance and nurturing our pupils.
The challenges that we were looking to address with this programme in particular was transition from Key Stage 2 to Key Stage 3, particularly in literacy, numeracy and oracy.
The big challenge for us was bringing in a positive behaviour policy that met the needs of those young people but also had buy-in from young people and you know, that they felt that it was something that reflected them.
So within the REACH programme, we focused on 3 things, which were bringing schools, teachers and other educators together to understand problems, working out what those problems are and then being solutions focused and trying to find different avenues or training sources to combat the issues. So it was a collective project.
As principals of the 5 schools, we met together, we planned, we thought about what was going to be important for our schools. It was great to have the support of REACH and to be able to look at, you know, what is it that our children really would benefit from and make bespoke training and bespoke programmes.
We engaged through the funding, engaged with Pivotal to provide tiered levels of staff training around positive discipline practices, and that's been very effective. It's embedded in our school policy and moving forward is a priority area for us.
We brought in a literacy project which helped to improve pupils' reading ages, which meant they could access the curriculum more effectively.
So we are a large secondary school in North Belfast, and one of the positive changes that we have seen through the REACH programme is moving from a punitive disciplinarian, I suppose, culture to a much more inclusive culture.
We identified some children that were key children that we wanted to really see improvement in. And we identified those as our key children to be involved within the programme, but actually it had a wider effect. It was more about our whole school having that new ethos and thinking very carefully about, you know, what this means for us as a whole school.
The first thing is we have a clear set of rules that are simpler and much easier for children to understand. And we also have meet and greet in the morning, which the children absolutely love because they love their name being called, they love to say hello, and it really settles them for a good day in school.
So there were so many successes of the REACH programme, but one of the key successes that stands out in my mind is the really close working relationships that head teachers formed with each other, not just in the primary but the post-primary sector. Head teachers would ring me on, you know, a Wednesday afternoon and say that a young person who previously would have been moved on from the school or who would have been suspended or excluded was not just staying in the mainstream environment but thriving.
I definitely feel a lot more equipped to deal with the escalating situations. So, for example, positive behavioural language, relational learning, and also your physical body language when addressing pupils that are in a heightened state.
Since working with the REACH programme and before the pandemic, we have been delighted to see the impact on our exclusion rates, and we have seen a steady decline in our suspension rates.
The impact of this nurturing approach in school is very, very clear. We would have had maybe 10, 15 children who were school refusers and did not want to come to school. And I'm very glad to say at this stage we don't have any school refusers at the minute in school.
One of our big successes obviously was the Nurture programme. It just established really good practice both in primary and post-primary schools. And I think that the value of nurture has been picked up by the likes of the Education Authority, and that is a legacy for REACH in that the good practice, the methodologies, the challenges that have been identified and overcome become part of that learning and help facilitate the nurture programme moving on into the future.
I think the biggest lesson that we all learned, not just me as programme manager, but school leaders and pastoral support, was that the work is very complex and it's tough on everybody involved, but that we need to think more in terms of a smaller picture and focusing on the small changes that we can enact with consistency that will then lead to bigger changes on a grander scale.
I think one of the challenges and limitations of the project was the ability to buy out teachers' time. And by that I mean allowing the school to put in place a substitute teacher to enable their teacher to go and do the training, plan, be creative and find innovative ways to implement the processes within the school. And I think going forward that would be a key requirement for the success of any project.
I think if we hadn't nurture operating in school, I think that we would have children who would be feeling excluded. I think we would have children who would be moving down different routes. There would be maybe more statutory involvement. You feel happier. You're not coming into school thinking I'm going to be dealing with lots of serious issues. And I think that is a positive of nurture for me on a personal level.
I am very proud of our nurturing journey and our journey with the REACH project. I think we've done a fantastic job. Our school is a thriving, nurturing community, and I'm so proud of our parents and so proud of our children and so proud of our staff.
I just want to say a huge thank you from everybody on the steering group, to the teachers, the support staff, to the councils and educational bodies, and to Right to Succeed for helping make this project the success it has been.
I think the REACH programme has given an inclusivity within our school. We were always a school that had great pastoral care, but I think some of the things that we have learnt have really helped our children and our staff to have a more welcoming environment, a school that brings children in, that loves them and cares for them, and that is the key.